Hey friend, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to be reviewing The High Note, a new video-on-demand film that just came out recently. Is it any good? Let's talk about it. So the plot of this movie is pretty straightforward. It follows Maggie, who's the assistant to Grace Davis, a aging pop singer, and Maggie has this big dream of being a music producer and is hoping that working as an assistant for Grace Davis, getting her coffee, running her errands, doing whatever she needs her to do, will someday hopefully lead her into her dream gig. Mixed in there, it's kind of a romantic comedy too, because she meets a guy and starts dating him, and it's a whole thing, right? And these two genres are pretty standard, right? We have the rom-com situation and we have the dreamer hoping for something better, trying to achieve their big goal kind of thing movie, which, you know, how many of those movies exist, honestly? So let's just start with the best thing in the movie, by far, which is the cast and the performances. I honestly think this cast is really great. So the main character of Maggie is played by Dakota Fanning, who is famous for her turn in 50 Shades of Grey, the 50 Shades of Grey series. Now that's really unfortunate for her because I think she's a really great actress. But because she's tied to 50 Shades of Grey and those films are kind of seen as like a joke for the most part, she also is sort of relegated to the sidelines. So I really like seeing her in movies because I think she's so talented. Our other main character, Grace Davis, this aging pop star, is played by Tracee Ellis Ross, who I haven't seen in, I don't think, anything else. I might be forgetting, but she feels really true to that kind of pop star, you know, so involved with themselves kind of character. It just works so well. And you put Dakota Fanning and her together, and it's just, it just works like magic, right?
Wait, pull over. Right here. Hey, can I get 2 carnitas, please? And one of them should be chicken with hot sauce.
Ma'am, we've been over this. We are not a drive-thru.
Okay, well, it should be. It could be.
Oh my God, is that Grace Davis?
No.
And then the other characters in the movie are also great. Just so many authentic performances that feel really true to the moment and the character, and it all just works beautifully. This movie is all around music. So it's about a pop singer, and it's about a girl who wants to be a producer in the music industry, and all that kind of stuff. So the movie has a couple of pretty good original songs. Nothing amazing, though. The other thing I liked, and it's such a weird thing, is just the locations. There's a lot of LA locations, general LA locations, and those are fine. But really the thing I loved was the different places we see people living, their homes. Grace Davis, who's this aging pop star, we see her in her big mansion house in LA. We go to Maggie's house. Her house is in a tiny little apartment in LA. And we see where different people live and how they live. And it gives such a good sense of character and where people are coming from. And there's like a real art to that. There's a real art to set dressing that most of the time people don't notice. And I don't notice either. It only makes me think that these sets were done really well because I never do that in any other film. So good job on that, I suppose. The last thing in this movie that I really appreciated was just there's a nice twist. Near the tail end of the movie, there's a nice twist that sort of turns what I think is going on in the movie on its head just a tiny bit. It's interesting. It really makes me appreciate the movie more, and it made me kind of want to go rewatch it again to see if I can catch something a second time around I didn't catch the first time. In terms of bad stuff, I really only have one major complaint, and it's just the fact that this film is so kind of painfully standard in its story. You know, it is a dreamer trying to achieve their dream story, you know, big goals, big ambitions story, and it plays out precisely by the numbers, right? If you've seen any of those kinds of movies, this movie plays out the exact same way. The same thing can be said for the rom-com element. This is a romantic comedy, and it's the same deal. You know, we have characters meeting in a weird way, and they're all kind of snippy at each other, and then they end up liking each other, and like things get in the way, and there's a misunderstanding and an argument, and like all the standard rom-com beats are played out. And it just offers very little in terms of surprise. Like you know exactly how this is going to play out within the first few minutes of this whole relationship starting. And because of that, the film just doesn't offer much in terms of anything to talk about. Beyond the performances, which I think are great, I really love the performances, and a few other technical things I already mentioned, the film doesn't bring much to the table. It's pretty standard stuff, and that's, kind of the worst thing ever. With all that being said, my final score for The High Note is going to be a 6 out of 10. So I think this movie's okay. Great characters, great performances, some good locations, but the story super cliche, super by the numbers. We've seen it so many times before, and it doesn't seem like they make much of an effort to flip that formula in any meaningful way. But it is fun. It has some good jokes. It has some high points in it. But I don't know. This movie really feels like you're going to see it on a streaming site in a year or so. And at that point, I recommend you checking it out. But until then, I don't think this one's really worth buying it video on demand like I did. You can wait on this one. But if you ever see it on some streaming site, give it a whirl. I think it is fun, and it's worth a watch.